And God said unto Jacob, arise, go up to Bethel, and dwell there, and make there an altar unto God that appeared unto thee when thou fleddest from the face of Esau thy brother. Three things. Number one, arise. Number two, awake. Number three, abide. Number one, arise and go up to the God of Bethel. Number two, awake and grow up in godliness as at the beginning. Number three, abide in the grace of the God of blessing. Number one, arise and go up to the God of Bethel. Micah chapter 2, reading from verse 10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. Shechem is not your rest. Halfway settlement is not your rest. The place where you are now in spiritual experience, you are saved, you were born again, like Jacob. You were alone or married when you were born again. You met the Lord. You saw the picture of heaven, and you saw the ladder that went from earth to heaven, and you saw the angels of God going up and down, and you heard the voice of God. I am your God. Like I was with Abraham and Isaac, I will be with you. I will protect you. I will preserve you. I will promote you. I will go with you where you are going. I will bring you back. The God of Bethel, arise where you are now. Think about your life. When you met the Lord, the joy of salvation, the peace is salvation, the righteousness is salvation, the intimacy and fellowship with God, the prayer life, the fellowship, and the way you read the Bible, and the way you pictured heaven and knew heaven, and the way you heard of Jesus, and Jesus was very plain and very clear to you and very intimate with you, and every time you had fellowship with the Lord, you are sending your SOS to God, and he is sending the solution back. Every time you think about God, it's like you knew God face to face. And then after that time you were not married, you could read the Bible, you could have fellowship. Remember those days when you will write down all the revelations of God for you. You were at Bethel, and now you're married, now you have children, now business has come in, and trading with Laban is not easy, because Laban is a worldly wise businessman. He will promise now he will change everything and turn everything. And as you look at that, all the things you went through, the temptations, the trial and the trouble, and all the diplomacy of the world and the politics of the house of Laban, everything now changed you. And you began to also manifest some of the tactics and agenda of Laban himself. And then you got married eventually, and some of those people in the extended family now, they hide the image, the idol, and sit down on it, and then they say, Laban, my father, it's unto me like unto women. I cannot rise up now. And your family members, they begin to learn the ways of the world, and you knew it. And then eventually you settle back and Shechem, and Simeon has a character, and Levi has his character, and Reuben has his own way too, and you're in the midst of everything. It's like prayer life is down. It's like intimacy with God has been affected. It's like, the life you are living now, you manage to still remain, and you remember the God of Abraham and the God of Isaac, but things are not like they used to be. And now God came and he said, Jacob, are you thinking about this? That you have not been where you ought to be? Arise and go up to the God of Bethel. Arise ye, Micah chapter 2 verse 10, and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. Shechem polluted. The place of abode for Jacob and the family polluted by blood. It shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction. That's why God now came to Jacob and he said, arise, get up out of this place and go up. Look at Ephesians chapter 5 verse 14, what the Lord is telling his people today. Wherefore he says, awake, thou that sleepeth, and arise from the dead. Arise from the dead. Your conviction dead, your consecration dead, the congregation you mix with dead, and everything about you, even your life, the heart, the inner man does not have the life, the excitement, and the fire, and the fervency. Dead. Arise from the dead, and Christ shall give thee life. And then we're told of Paul the apostle, Acts chapter 9 verse 6, and he trembling and astonished said, Lord, what wilt thou have me to do? A new life, a new beginning with the God of heaven and with God of destiny. What wilt thou have me to do? And the Lord said unto him, arise. If we're going to begin a new life, a Bible-based life, if we're going to begin a God-supported life, and we're going to go through to the God-guided destiny, that word arise. If you sit down in the same place and sit down the same way, and you relax the same way, and life has taken on a different face, a different appearance, and you are there, and like a Christian you are mediocre. Like a believer, you're mediocre. There is nothing inside you that pumps you up, energizes you, that goads you, that pricks you, that makes you to wake up and to say, hey, I must move on. You are just settled down there. You need spiritual motion. Arise and go into the city, and it shall be told thee what thou must do. Life is just beginning now as we come to the Lord and we say, here is a call from God that demands action. And I must arise. Let's go to number 2 here. Number 2 is to awake. Awake and grow up in godliness as at